Welcome to another edition of Congleton Chronicles. This week, we thought you'd be a bit tired of different faces, so you've got faces that you know, but we're in a different location.
Yeah.
I'm here with James at the place where all the hard work's done, actually in the Chronicle office. A change is as good as a rest, as they say, isn't it?
It's nice to be on home turf, Vic.
He doesn't have to put in the expenses claim for travelling. That's the good news for the Chron.
Yeah.
So James, it's been an interesting week as ever.
Yeah, it's been an interesting week for Congleton.
Some cracking stories there.
Yeah.
First one, a bit of controversy, kind of surrounding the by-election, but funding and town council.
Yeah, I'll explain it. So I think my colleague Mel explained last week in the paper review last week about how there's going to be a by-election in the Congleton Town Council, Congleton North Ward, later in May. And we ran a list of the candidates who were going to be standing. And the Reform candidate mentioned how what he will call for Congleton Town Council to stop funding charities, community groups with the community grants scheme. Every month they give grants. They decide which grant applications to accept, and he thinks the town council shouldn't be doing that.
That kind of runs contrary to everything that former Mayor Kay Wisley was working on, where she was very much, look, we are about an inclusive community, and clearly within that, many of those groups haven't got a vast source of income, and will be dependent on that to do their work.
Yeah, a lot of the charities, and they're run by volunteers as well. Yeah. So anyway, in response to that call for the council to stop stop funding charities and community groups, Vic, there's a big backlash, and to the degree that it filled up at least one of our letters pages in the latest edition, which we like. But anyway, one of the people who wasn't happy, who was actually Kay Wesley, the Equality Party councillor at Congleton Town Council, she made the point that by the Reform candidate calling a by-election, it will cost the council £15,000, which is about the amount that it gives out to charities every year.
So it's cutting your nose off to spite your face.
That's right. That's it. So we're reporting on that with a few responses in the follow-up to that article this week.
Are they polite responses?
They weren't very happy, to say the least. But we just like to say that with that, just for balance, the Reform are standing. The Equality Party is standing, Labour's standing, Conservatives standing, the Greens are standing, there's an independent candidate and the Lib Dem candidate, just for balance, and the election will be held in Congleton North on Thursday the 21st of May.
I look forward to getting my papers, and I think I might even make the effort of going and physically voting rather than voting by post.
Use your democratic rights.
Use my democratic rights and get a bit of exercise while I'm at it, because we still have to go out to somewhere in Somerford nearly to actually go and vote. Down
it's a nice place to go and vote.
I can't complain about the place. I just wonder whether now that Congleton's grown as much as it has, they ought really be looking, certainly for the Cheshire East elections, at another polling station which was a bit nearer to people. Yeah,
we have done stories in the past about calls for more polling stations and things like that. But moving on to the next story, I think it links with what we were just talking about the parishes around Congleton and how the boundaries are changed, and whether people think part of Somerford is actually in Congleton and vice versa, and where the link road is. So the other story I was going to mention, we're going to the front page, the panel story on the front page this week, Vic, is about the calls for planters to beautify the roundabouts on the Congleton link road, Walsall Way. Councillor Russell Chadwick, the Congleton Town Councillor, said it'd be nice to see them smartened up, and alluded to the great job Congleton Town Council's streetscape department does of all the roundabouts in Congleton Town Centre, with all the beautiful flowers in the season, etc. And he said, why couldn't the same done to the roundabouts on the link road? But with what we're just talking about, the roundabouts on the link road, some of them at least, maybe all of them, not sure, outside the town council boundary.
They're very largely either within Hugh Warfield, some of parish, or some of the parishes. I can actually give you some breaking news on this.
Right.
Because I happened to be meeting Mark last night, a very enjoyable event out at Congleton. And he has had a meeting with Russell, and it was a very positive meeting. So I think the will is there to accept the principle of making a contribution through the benefits that we get from streetscape, and also working jointly to come up with a scheme there. But there's a bit of a problem. Yeah,
well, we report in a story, Vic, how Hugh Warfield and some of the Booth Parish Council have said that there's concern that if planters were put on the link road roundabouts, that due to the ongoing safety concerns about various traffic accidents where lorries and cars have actually careered over the roundabouts, the planters could be a hazard to drivers, and be an obstruction. Or people should obviously drive round roundabouts.
Normally people go round the roundabouts, but in the case of those, the evidence is there to see.
It is.
That it might be worth the Cron actually asking what the replacement cost has been.
Yes.
For all of that street furniture which has been demolished over the last 3 years.
Well, we've done we've done various stories about concerns about not only the speed of traffic on the or boy races on the link road, but also concerns that the layout of the link road and where the roundabouts are has caused more accidents than should have happened, really.
I have got an answer. I should actually declare an interest because I am a Hugh Warfield Parish Councillor.
That's all right.
So that's done the bit that I need to do. If you go up to the northeast, just north of Scarborough, on the Great Road going up to Scotland, there's a wonderful roundabout that you come to.
Right.
They put some sheep on it, not real ones, but they put sheep and shepherd on the roundabout. Now, what could be more appropriate for a rural area such as Congleton and surrounds? So there's an alternative, but the principle remains. Public money being spent and then, in effect, wasted because somebody who unfortunately drives straight across the roundabout rather than doing the conventional keep left and go round it.
The other suggestion I just thought of, a few years you might remember on the roundabout, in one of the roundabouts in the town centre where Streetscape, I think it won an award at the Tatton Flower, the RHS Tatton Flower Show, the topiary hedges in the shape of Congleton's bear. Maybe that would be an idea, and then it wouldn't be a solid structure then either.
Yeah, there's a problem there. As you exit the roundabout, you look in your driving mirror, you'll have a bear behind.
Yeah, you will. Very good bit. Right. If you move on.
I've told you I'm writing the headlines. You leave your reporters to actually write the story. That'll do. Okay, number 3 story then is a football story.
It is, and finally this week, it's on the front page because it's a big sports story for Congleton. The headline is "Massive Relief as Bears Pulled Off the Great Escape." This is referring to Congleton Town Football Club's last day escape from relegation. So unfortunately found themselves in the wrong half of the table for much of the season. They played at home on the last day. They had a crowd of almost 1,000 cheering them on. Had they won, which they did, 4-0, which is a great victory, they were still relying on a result elsewhere. And a team from the Black Country called Sporting Colsa, if they'd have won, they were a place below Congleton. That would have sent Congleton down. But they were playing in Cheshire as well, at Whitton Albion in Northwich. They went ahead, but fortunately Whitton pulled 2 goals back to send Sporting Colsa down, and hey, Congleton stayed up.
Skin of your teeth.
It was, and
literally.
We spoke to Charles Porter, Town's chairman, after the game, and he said he described it as proper heart in your mouth stuff. He had like a lot of the fans there, he was on his mobile looking at the score elsewhere, and it wasn't until late in the game, despite them winning 4-0 at the Cleric Stadium on Saturday, that the result came in from Whitton, and it meant that Congleton are staying in the Northern Premier League, which is great news for Congleton and the club and the wider town, because they're a well-supported club. They've really built up a good ground base of support in recent years, involving a lot of the junior teams as well now, which is good news.
I shall look forward to the report coming in from our resident reporter Liam, who I'm sure will be over the moon.
Well, be delighted.
As you rightly say, it's such good news for
the
town.
It is, yeah.
And it's more than football, that club. It's a community resource. Definitely. I was there recently for the annual exhibition of art from Seasons Art.
Yeah.
And they're so generous in letting them use that place, and it brings people into the town. It brings people to know what the club's doing.
Yeah, definitely. I think in the last few years, once they started to link up with the kids, they want to develop the next generation of players, but it forms a bigger, wider community organisation as well, which is really good.
So last question to you. You've been very successful in predicting the weather.
Yes.
What's the weather going to be for the next week? You're not the weatherman, so you don't have to do the fancy...
No, as far as I know, I'm a bit of a weather junkie.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a bank holiday weekend, so the weather's going to be warmish, but unfortunately, I think the rain clouds are going to be coming to a degree, and then it'll probably brighten up again come Tuesday.
So it's Brolly's in Congleton.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So there we are, that's the latest edition of Congleton Chronicle, and do hope you've enjoyed it, and look out for the next exciting edition in a week's time. Meanwhile, from James and myself, cheerio.
Bye now.